580,000 people live in this city, spread across 3 separate landmasses, and there's one rather large problem. Traffic. This city, with a population of over 580,000 people spread across 3 land masses, and unfortunately getting from one to the other has become a bit of a nightmare. We've got gridlocked intersections, backed up highways, downtown congestion, and queues stretching across the city. And it's now getting so bad that essential services can't even get where they need to go. So today we're going to find out what's causing all of this, fix as much of it as we possibly can, and get 580,000 people moving again. Grab a cup of tea, sit back and relax, and let's fix some traffic. So this city was submitted for a fix by Next777. Don't forget, if you wish to do that, there is a link in the description below. But let's just go around and have a look at some of these terrible problems that we've got. So as we've mentioned, these are 3 different land masses. So we've got one up here, we've got this one over here, and then we've got the large one down here. And to get in and out of the cities, the map, we do have a connection there to the outside. We have one here. This is the main one that's used, and as you can see, the traffic is horrendous coming down here. People are trying to get in, it's just queuing up, queuing back, getting worse, and it goes all the way down to the junction down here. So people trying to come in are having a right old problem down at Blackthorn Highway. And we also have, let's have a look, some traffic over here. Now this is an industry area, one of the only industry areas in the entire city, which on its own causes a problem. Look across the bridge. All of this traffic trying to come in across the bridge. Some people have said it's so bad they're going to leave on a rocket, and there they go. But yeah, it's just ridiculous coming over here. Not the straightest bridge I've ever seen. We might fix that as well. And then it all comes down. Here's this one little junction, and basically that's making resource costs higher. So that has that knock-on effect as well. What are these down here? Oh, we've got a lot of taxi depots. Very nice. So hopefully we'll get that fixed too. As we look out across the city, this island here isn't too bad. There's not too many people living there, but as it gets denser down here, we get more and more problems. So coming in from our cargo harbour, which for some reason is the opposite side to where our industry is. So all the trucks, all the goods are getting delivered, picked up by the trucks, taken over the bridge, causing all this traffic to then come back again. That seems like a bad decision to me. And then when they want to head into the city, they're all heading down here. Yeah, traffic here amongst the trees, just never ending right up into this. I quite like this. I think this is one of those pre-made junctions, and then you've added a whole load of stuff to it as well, because that's what people tend to do when there's traffic. They add not necessarily more lanes, like that's bad, but they add extra. Yeah, well now, because going through here is a problem, we'll add extra lines going that way, and yeah, it just builds up, it builds up. And then we head into downtown. We've got traffic over here. What's going on? Just lots of people coming from over the other side, and it all heads down into one turning. Lots of people heading over this bridge into downtown where there's so many people, and the traffic just builds up, builds up, builds up, and that has the knock-on effect of making more traffic and yeah, stopping all the hearses to get around to where they need to go. Because if we look at our hearse situation, we'll go into the healthcare and death care tab. There's hearses everywhere. You've had this problem and you've just put more crems down all over the place to pop out all the hearses, but they just get stuck in traffic. I bet this is a big traffic jam down here. Look, a whole load of them all stuck in traffic, can't get to where they need to go. That is the issue. So if you solve the traffic, you're going to solve all these other problems. Look, it's at a complete standstill. People have got out their cars, they're looking around, they're just not very happy. It is getting pretty bad. And then if we just zoom out from all of this traffic down here and sort of move further over here into the city, it's backed up. There's more traffic. It just randomly is on all sorts of roads. It just gets worse and worse. That is so bad. I feel like I just want to take a screenshot of that. There we go. And then if we head off into other places as well, there's traffic over here. Yeah, there's a roundabout. Should work, but no, because there's so much traffic. And then that has knock-on problems of not enough customers. People can't get over here as well. It just, yeah. Oh, it's even going over this bridge into the island that I actually thought was okay. Buses are unable to get out. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on. One of the things I did notice, which overall looking at the city isn't going to help, if we just get like a bird's eye view or pop into the info menus and take a look where all our different things are set up. So residential spread everywhere. That is what you would expect. No residential down here. Commercial, we have a bit of a spattering around here where people live in this area. We have a big chunk over here. Oh, more people are leaving on the rocket. Got a big chunk over here, a little bit sort of in between this area. This is just a whole ton of people. Now, I can't actually tell you how many are in there because this district just covers everything. What we could just do is pop a new district over the top of that. I'm going to do it with Anarchy, and we're just going to take this section here, and it's just going to give us a rough idea of how many people live in there. So Evergreen Field, it lets me click on that. There we go. Wow. So we've got nearly 250,000 people just living in there, and the amount of shops that they've got to go to is a teeny tiny couple of shops here. Yeah, they want to go, they want to work, they want to spend their money. If they're too far away, that is a lot of travelling. And then we've got a whole island which is almost dedicated to commercial down there. So that is something to keep in mind. Like I said, industry, we've just got one spot for industry. People want to get to work. They are only able to get down here. That is it. We could pop a little bit of industry around. Offices, I think are okay. We've got a spattering of those on the various islands in various spots. That is not too bad. Okay, let's start fixing some of the obvious traffic problems. Maybe we'll start with some of the easier ones first, and then we'll head off into the depths of the city and try and fix that. Now, quite often I will see people saying, oh, how do I stop them doing the silly lane switching like this? Oh, by the way, we've got weird trailers here because I think they must have used a new trailer mod that was, something I wasn't interested in loading. So, yeah, that's why they got those grey boxes. Yeah, lots of people say, why do they all lane change right at the end and it causes all the traffic and all that sort of thing? My answer to that is, if you can find out why there's traffic and fix that, then there won't be so much traffic, and then it doesn't matter if they lane change at the end. There's only like 10 cars coming through here. It's not the end of the world, is it? So what I'm going to use is the in-game tool. I want to click on this little road down here. Here we go, Manor Highway. And we're going to use this one here, and we're going to see where these vehicles are going. So any vehicle going through that road is heading off down there and over to this side. Some are going straight on over the bridge. Interestingly enough, none of them are going through to here, which is, I was expecting some to come through to here, but they're mainly heading off down here and into the city. Well, if we follow this junction, this is the only junction or intersection that comes off and joins this road. If we follow it along here, that's it. That's like the only way to get in until you get all the way over here. So, oh, that was an autosave. We'll have a quick sip of tea. So we don't need to add a whole new intersection, but it would be good to let them get off down here somewhere. So let's just have a look and see. I mean, we've got this sort of secondary Willow Highway with a junction right there. I think we can do a little something here. So that's a 4-lane one-way highway there. I don't want to add a 5-lane on there. It just seems like it's lane overkill. So what I'm going to do is drop that down to a 3-lane after the junction here. And that will have the same effect, that it will give a dedicated lane coming off here. The other 3 will carry on. I mean, it widens out to 4 again, which obviously is a bit of an issue, as we can see. We just don't need that many lanes. So I'm going to just downgrade that. Is there any reason? Okay, whatever. I'll just downgrade it down to there, and then whatever happens after that stays after that. So what we hopefully should see is some of these vehicles now, there we go, coming straight on instead. Let's just see where some of these are going. So he's not taking that route. I bet if we click on here. Yeah, there we go. Some are going to be coming down here now, which is exactly what we want. And that means less vehicles through here. We have the lane mathematics working. So we've got 3 lanes back here, 1 lane coming off, 2 lanes going on. Sometimes I will go the other route and keep it 3 lanes all the way through and add a 4th lane going off. And it can sometimes work. Let me just show you what I mean. Let me just tidy this up a bit. So then I'm going to add the 3 lanes back into here. And you can sort of do this both ways. It really does depend. And then we're going to add a 4th lane here. And that will give us, there you go, you can see a dedicated lane going off. And we're going to add that. Let's give them a whole load of space for that. There we go. So they can come off. And that lane is dedicated. And what you might find now is you're less likely, well, you're definitely not going to get anybody in this lane that is able to go straight on. And nobody in this lane can turn. There will be a bit of hawky-balky lane switching, but if we just keep an eye on this traffic is going to go down very, very quickly. Look at that. The traffic has gone down very, very quickly. Excellent. Hopefully we're not causing more traffic down here. No, we're not. They're just moving on. It's no problem. No traffic caused down here. Excellent. Let's go on to the next hotspot. So if we zoom out just a little bit and look across the bridge, now we are getting less cars coming down all at once across this bridge, but let's just have a little examination, see what's going on. So they're all coming across the bridge. They're all coming across here. Yeah, that's fine. They're all coming down here. And then I bet it's all going to hit. Oh yeah, we're going to go underground, come back up again. And it's a very similar thing again, isn't it? We've got, so this is maybe, we need to name this reverse lane mathematics. So it's 3 lanes down to 2, and then it probably goes back to 3 again at the other end when it joins back on again. Yeah, that is how we used to do it, but I've been finding it working better the other way. So let's give this one the same treatment. There we go. We've now got a dedicated lane coming off. It does go underground a bit there, so we could... Let's just make that a tunnel. Will it do the same? Just so I can add... And if we go down, I want to add that lane going back as far as possible without messing anything up. There we go. And back to this one again without that. Yeah, there we go. So we've got... Oh, this is only 2 lanes down here. All right, well, it spreads out to 4. That's fine. We could just do a little bit of... Grab a 3 there. Yeah, 2 to 3 to 4. They'll work it out. So now, this again... Oh, another rocket leaving. Should go down reasonably quickly. Watch that traffic coming from the other side of the bridge. Yeah, I'm just looking at this actually. There is... Look at that. There's so much traffic joining from the distance. Why is that happening? Is that just... the amount of people coming from this side of the city? Okay, well, that's fine. What we want to do is let's just check again where they're all trying to get to. So we're going to grab, let's grab, yeah, I want to grab just this side here. There we go. That's what I want. So they're coming up there. Some are going up and going this way into the city. West, we should say. Everybody else is going east. Some are even coming back down to this section. Well, we could give them access to this section without going all the way round. And we could give them access to this sort of secondary highway that you've got here as well without having to go all the way around. That to me just sounds like an obvious thing. We've literally got it right there. So how about, let's just do a little change down here. So if you wonder what I'm doing here, I'm using the picker option from the Find It mod. You can either do it down there and then pick the road that you want. I tend to turn these off so it just gives me road and not everything else. Or I've got a shortcut key for it so I can just do that. So I'm going to downgrade this one here. So I've got this extra lane, which is then going to go up here. And then I'm going to make that a 3-way lane there. We'll do nicely. We'll connect those up. There we go. So we've got a dedicated lane for going off. Everyone's going to be a bit confused for a moment. And then they can join that. So what we should see now, there we go. Already, they've changed the route. So there's not as many cars going down there. A lot of them are going to go that way. Let's just keep our eye on that junction for a moment and see. I mean, it's going to take a while for them to start doing it because obviously the ones going under the bridge are struggling a bit. And what we could do again, let me just pick of this one. I'm going to just upgrade that a little bit further. So they've got that lane a little bit further back, and then we just add the 3 lane down there. There we go. So let's watch. Oh, look at that. Look at that. More people coming down this way, which means less people coming down this way. Don't worry about the hawky-balkiness over there. They'll get it sorted out. Oh, that is good. That is good. And then we can help these down here move a little bit quicker. So at the moment, it's 1 lane coming off and then it's joining this, which is all super slow. And then we're heading into downtown, which is like a whole nother thing. Let's just make sure here it's not causing any issues. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them... So these are changes that I'm making. There we go. Now, while there is this much traffic, because what's happening is we've given them another option to go. You know, 90% of these look like they're happy with doing that. So suddenly we've got a whole load load of traffic going down here. Once this goes down, let's just speed things up. Let's go 8 speed. Once this goes down, we might find it's a lot easier with the merging down here and we don't need to worry about it. So it's always just worth watching before you make some huge changes. Let's just keep an eye on all of this traffic coming down here. I think this is going to be gone in about 30 seconds. So this is about to prove my point. At the minute, you're looking at it going, why are they doing all the hawky-balky lane switching? It's a huge problem. Oh my goodness, how do we stop it? I'm going to go onto Reddit. I'm going to go onto Biffa's Discord and complain about it. But actually, because we've solved the traffic, the hawky-balky lane switching is no longer a problem because there's just not that many cars coming down there. So what you can also do now is you can think, well, actually, I don't need all of these extra lanes. You may come back and just downgrade those a little bit. And we're going to have the same happening along here. So where they were merging and it was all a big problem, there's not that much traffic coming through. It's really not that much of a problem anymore. We'll come back to the downtown in a moment, but let's just follow this down here and see what's going on, because now we have popped a load of extra traffic through here. And I think this is all going to head into the downtown as well. We have a lovely roundabout junction, which is, yeah, heading through into the downtown. This is what I'm calling the downtown. Right. Okay, well, let's have a look. So the traffic is coming in from 2 different directions and merging on here. This isn't the best for big amounts of traffic, and I think you've slightly adjusted it as well. How have you got this going on? You got that coming off, this going down here. I can sort of see what you're doing. So we've got 2 lanes and 2 lanes. This is a 4 lane, isn't it? Yeah. So the picker tool's telling me that. So that's fine. So people are going to go down into whichever lane they want to do. As they go over the top, it's not too bad. The merging is a problem. I want to check. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to click on that. So we've got this option on again. Just make sure. Yeah, it looks like some people are taking this to go over, because that might just be because of the traffic is so bad. Although that is causing merging problems at the end later. And then over here, a load of them are all trying to come off into this part of the, oh my goodness me. Yep, that's just what we're going to be calling that, the oh my goodness me. Can we get these moving a little bit quicker? So we've got some hawky-balky merging going on here, but I think, do you know what? I think I might just let this run for a second, because once this goes down and that goes down, we should be okay, although there's a lot going on. I'll tell you what, let's just do a couple of changes. You know what I'm going to do here. This goes up to 2 lanes anyway, so why have it as 1 lane when you're going to get to 2 lanes? Let us add a node there. If you don't have mods, you could just redraw the road. You could add a little spur to put the node in yourself. As I've got mods, I'm just going to do it like this. And most people are going right. So what we could do even here is just help them get around the corner a little bit quicker. We could make that a 3. We could make this one, it's a 2 already. We could make that a 3, which is going to freak everybody out because I'm adding all sorts of lanes. And then we could nab onto that and join that onto there. So now people can just bypass that roundabout altogether to get over here. We've obviously got far too many lanes here. So we're going to add a node in there and just downgrade this back to 2 again. Not you. The lane mathematics is sort of... Oh, I actually meant to downgrade that bit. Yeah, I need to add my node in again. That's what I meant to do. There we go. And then we get my 3. So that's the 3 lanes here. Then it goes back down to 2. And then it's 2 and 2 onto 4. Ideally, I only ever want 1 lane joining another lane, because what you're getting now is people trying to cross over and all that sort of thing, which is really not pleasing for everybody. And it's all sort of getting in the way. Let's just make a little bit of space and just hope that goes a bit quicker. But already, look, people are getting through here. These will work it out. They'll get there. As we said, a big bulk of traffic coming. So it is a little bit hawky-balkiest until they just do it. But we can see already, because most of these are now bypassing that, this has gone down. This has gone down. That's going the other way. And that's a similar thing. Look, you can see, look, hawky-balky lane switching. But if we do this instead... So give them the extra lane that way. Have I done a really bad job on that? I think I have. I want this to be... That's 3. This should be 4. It is 4. The lanes don't look right to me. Hang on. There we go. I want the lane at the top for coming off. Excellent. So now we've got a dedicated lane coming off. You shouldn't get all the... I want to be in here and come over to there. Of course, you can expand that further down there. But anyway, that's just the way I like to do it. So I think very soon this will go down. So how about a super duper speedy Yeah, this is like nuts, isn't it, here? I want the 3 lanes, but it's almost like there's far too many lanes. Could I just change this? I feel like I'm lost in a cycle of one more lane. If I do that, then this needs to be 5. Yeah, I might just do that. Whoa, there you go. Give them the chance that they need to get off and do the thing they want to do. Let's bump this up to 8 speed and keep our eye on all that traffic already. Already things are going down. Sip your tea in celebration. Yeah, when that slow truck's gone past doing the road maintenance, you know, that'll be much better. But once all of this stops over here, then the hawky-walky lane switching won't be a problem anymore. There we go. So zooming out a little bit. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. So we didn't actually give them access through to here. We just added access down there and they worked it out themselves. This is fine. Coming in the city's fine. And all down here's fine. So that is this island basically sorted out. Now it's over to this island and that island. Let's maybe just take a look starting from over here. Now there was a lot of a problem. That's my Italian roots coming out there. Here. So what is going on here? There's a load of buses. All these buses are going into this bus station. Now what happens is, if we just click on this bus station, bus stations, train stations, all the different things have maintenance. Where is the maintenance? Bus station maintenance. No, that's the maintenance for the bus station. Actually, ignore that. I was thinking all the buses need to come back for maintenance here. They don't, of course. They go to a bus depot. So what I think you've got going on here is just so many buses on all of your lines. Yeah, let's just have a quick look at your transit overview. If you haven't got this mod, transit overview, get it. It's just fantastic. I'm going to toggle everything off. Boink, there we go. We're in our bus line. Let's just look at our buses. Wow, we have buses everywhere. That is great. How many buses? 32, 15, 25, 37. Oh my giddy aunt. That is the problem. You've got too many buses on all your lines. Now, this will be something that we'll tweak and then you might need to go back to check later because I'm going to take as a figure how many people are using these lines and to see whether you need all of them. Let's just take this one here, for example, bus line number 3. Now, at the minute, most of these are stuck in traffic. So the how many people are using them is going to be down. So I'm going to go by the figure that it is at the moment, 25 out of 50. Cool, blimey, Governor Strike a light. I'm going to go down because this is only like 17% used, as it says there. Later on, you might want to come back and check it when your traffic is fixed, because you might find that people want to get back on the buses, and because they're getting through the traffic, they can get back on the buses. So quick time lapse. I'm going to go through this and we're going to drop the buses down from... Is there a way I can see how many buses are being used altogether? Well, this is our public transport overview. 40,000 people. That is worth seeing. So we'll come back and have a look at that a bit later. 9 lines. Some quick maths. We have 220 buses on our lines. Right, let's do some changes. Okay, I've lowered them all down. Now don't forget, lines like this, usage, like I said, could be low because of the traffic. It could be low because of where the line goes. There could be a whole load of reasons. That is another good thing with this mod. So within this tab of buses, we can toggle them all off and very easily, let's just sort of go like that. We can get an idea of where this one's going. So that's not too bad from one side to the other. We can have a look at that. That's not too long. That is quite a long route. Going backwards and forwards there. I mean, we can see how many stops there are on some of these routes. That one goes into downtown. I mean, they all converge on the bus hub and then go to various other places. So rather than dive into fiddling with all those, I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. We've got no trains, one subway line, which is basically local to this side. Okay, we may adjust that. Cargo lines all over the place. Okay, good. All right, so we'll see how that affects the traffic of the buses coming in and out of here. It's going to take a while, I think, for them all to go back to the maintenance, go back to the depot and all that sort of thing. But maybe let's just, yeah, keep an eye on this and see what happens. Okay, while watching all that traffic go down, I noticed there's something going on here, because like this bus is going to come up here and it's going to despawn. Yeah, they're like, we don't like driving up this road. What is going on? Because I think the routes go up this road. Let's go back to bus, toggle it all on. They do. Whoops. But, something isn't right. They're not liking it, and I don't know what. If we take that one, I mean, it shows, yeah, look, there's all sorts of weirdness going on. I might just redraw this in and just see if I can fix it up. Aha, I think we fixed it. There we go. They're all crossing. To help things keep moving, I'm going to take away that crossing there because we've got crossings over here. So that should help. So we've got no more traffic on this lovely little interchange over here. No more buses coming all the way down here. And now our bus system can work. I mean, the people are loving it. They are walking for miles around to come and use these buses. And now they're actually going to be working properly. Look at them. Flocking. They are absolutely flocking. So I'm going to keep an eye on these buses, make sure they're doing exactly what they need to do and taking all these people away. And then hopefully over time, we might be able to just increase the buses a little bit more. Yeah, they seem to be cloning themselves. We're going to just walk away and not worry too much about that. Okay, next problem. We are getting closer and closer to the downtown problem, which I think is going to be the biggest problem that we've got to fix because it's, yeah, people are dying. It's that bad. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. So this cargo harbour, you've got over here with disease control, incineration, solar panel, post sorted. So I can see why it's ended up here. Maybe there's a bit of a natural progression as you were building things and you thought, I'll pop it over here. But as we saw, they're then heading all the way over the top here. Although now I'm looking at that traffic has just gone down as well. We might have sort of solved a bit of it while we've been solving other things. So I may not move that, but let's just have a look at the traffic coming in here. So we've got a lot of traffic coming off over here. I'm going to do the same. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing over here to help them with their crossing over, coming off into the, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, drink more tea. There we go. So now we've got a dedicated lane, which over there is on the wrong side. So if I turn off my snapping and just bring it over a bit. There we go. Now we've got the dedicated lane coming off. Oh, autosave. Anybody else can go straight on. That should just keep that going. Let's just keep an eye on it for a second. As they say, going, gone. That traffic is working. And then it's all coming down to here. And it's getting a little bit busy. There is a lot going on here. What could we do to try and assist that? So some are going, I mean, mostly they're going straight on. And it's hitting this junction here. And then they're probably spreading out in various directions. Let's just have a quick look at Northgate Highway. Yeah, so they're going left and right. That's fine. You have got 2 lanes here. There's a lot more lanes here, actually, isn't there? But also, they're crossing over the traffic. Is there traffic light there? There is. Do you know what I would be... Not that one. What I might just do is remove the traffic light. Just pop a roundabout in there and see how it goes. We'll take one of the basic ones. That's quite big. We'll go with it. I'm just going to maneuver some things around over here so they don't complain. That is a pretty big building. Maybe we'll just, yeah, tweak. Okay. I just want to see if that helps. That road just seems to go right in there, doesn't it? And then I'm going to add extra lanes because these roundabouts will only give you as many lanes as there are. That is not connecting up there properly at all, is it? Let's just redo this into here. And that is actually, I'm going to upgrade it as I'm drawing it. That is going to be 3. So you'll notice if I do a 2 into there, come on, connect. There we go. You can see how many lanes it's adding. If we do a 3 into there, it should actually add more lanes. Why is it acting so strange there? How about if I do it the other direction? No, we'll go like that instead. And then we'll turn it round. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it's still done it, isn't it? Hang on, let me just have a little play around with this. One sec. Okay, that's better. So what I've done is I've just turned this building around, faced it the other way, giving us a tiny bit more space. We've got more lanes on there. Now we've got 3 coming in because we know there's 2 there and there's a couple down here. So, you know, we want to give them as many options as possible. I might just extend that back a bit for now. Again, this is just to get rid of the larger amounts of traffic very quickly. That is going to go down. one, although over here it's causing a bit of a hoo-ha. Yeah, we've got traffic lights we don't need. Let's get rid of that. When it's a minor side road, particularly even though it's one that's going one way, you don't need a traffic light. I would say not even there because we're going down. And then also a big thing I see a lot of people doing is they zone. Well, that's a medical clinic. Yeah, I think a lot of these industries are zoned on the main road. Yeah, there we go. Don't do that because you'll get trucks. Let's find an example, sort of pulling off, trying to go into a building, blocking up other things. That's not a good idea. Look, this is all moving now. This isn't too bad. We don't have a dedicated lane there. What we could do is, as we have mods, we'll make use of it. We'll say, so Hugh don't go there, but Hugh go there. Oh, no, hang on, no. Hugh go there, but Hugh don't go there. That's the way around I want it. So they can turn left there. Got a dedicated left. Yeah, don't you do things like that. We're going to remove U-turns. There we go. So they can just go there to go left. Everybody else can go straight on. So yeah, here we go. Good example. He was going into there, blocking it all up. We might just give these a dedicated turn as well. So Hugh don't go there, but Hugh go there. We've now got a dedicated left. We'll take off the thing. Again, unnecessary traffic lights, unnecessary traffic lights. That is a big junction, but it's not too busy. These are coming in from both directions and causing quite a bit of traffic. I mean, it is just going to be busy through here, but just looking at this, so it all connects. Like, this is the only way. Well, that's the only way in here. Well, actually, they can come in here, then they can come around here and go in that way. How are they getting out? So this isn't too bad. I mean, basically out, in and out here, and also an extra in there. So it's just that this little bit here is super busy. Where does that one go? Oh yeah, that goes here as well, and they can loop around backwards. Yeah, okay. I think you've got a... Is that an asymmetric road there? I'm going to just pop this on anyway from there all the way up to there. There we go. We get a dedicated left and right. This might be just one of those things where we know it's going to be busy down there. We could make that a one-way road, like in there and out there. I'm thinking that might just be a better way of doing it, as you've started the one-way thing. So if we go like that, so in there, out there, and just let everybody work it out. Let's just keep an eye on this little section here just for a second. I mean, it's not too bad. It's actually clearing up a bit better. What I'm seeing is where these trucks come in here. So they're coming down this road, turning left. There's a traffic light there. Let's just get rid of that. I don't think we need that. They're turning left, coming down here, and it's just a bit of a bottleneck because these are coming in. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It is moving, but they're just having to sort of stop to let some out. I've got to be honest, I think overall, that is, with those couple of tweaks, a nicely free-flowing, but busy, of course, industrial area. Let's just scan around a little bit. I think that is not too shabby at all. So let's back away from that industry area and just double check that where they're going across the bridge isn't too bad. Now, that is one of the big things when you've got separate land masses like this, is the connection between them, because if that doesn't work well, which this one is now, then you're going to have all sorts of issues. I'm just looking down here because one of the bugbears, I think, of a lot of people is traffic trying to get in and out of things like this cargo harbour. So you've got a lot of backup of trucks coming all the way around here. They're going to start, backing up onto this junction. It's just causing problems and problems and problems. It's a one-way road, which is good. Ideally, what you need through here is a way for some trucks to be able to get past, because some are coming past without getting stuck behind it, everybody that wants to go in there. I'm just going to pause and make a quick save of my game because I'm going to do something here. Okay, we're all saved up. I am going to grab the Move It mod. I'm going to just shift this back a little bit so nothing breaks by the look of it. Let's go a little bit further. Give ourselves some room to breathe. Now people going past don't have to come up here. What we can do is add an extra little road up here. And what we want to do is make this so this is just for people that want to go into here. So there's that way in, that way in. I think there's that as well there, isn't there? We'll do that one as well. Autosave. We'll have this come off and join there. And what we could do, I'm just going to add a node in there like so. We're going to delete that, delete that. We're then going to pick of that road and we're going to just curve it round just to keep things moving a little bit quicker. So they're going to come off and go up there. Some are going to want to go by. Now this is... I don't know what sort of road this is. I've just picked it. One lane, one way. Okay, so ideally, we want this to be 2 lanes, don't we? So let's just go... How could I do this? We want 2 lanes here. 1 lane's going to go off and we want it to carry on. I think we just need to do 2 lanes all the way. When they come out, I think we'll make it 2 lanes as well. I'm just thinking the best way to connect here. Oh, yeah, trucks are also coming out of there. So what we could do is just have a lane coming out of there, say, and joining down here somewhere. You've got a bus stop down there. Well, that really isn't helping either, is it? We might have a look at that in a minute, but let's do that. So they can come out and join. And then here, we're going to want to come out and join. I'm just going to bump it into that bit there and see what happens. I think that should still work. It looks like it's near enough. This bus stop, I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it back here and it will automatically take the line with it. I'm also going to add another node in so we get a nice little stop. There we go. Like that. No traffic lights anywhere. Let's just... No, I don't want any crossings here either. So we'll just use the in-game vanilla tools. No crossings, please. I don't think anybody's walking up here. Yeah, and let's just have a look at that. And hopefully, if we look from this direction, hopefully you're going to get trucks picking this road here if they want to just leave, and this road if they want to go into the cargo, whatever it's called, cargo hub. I'm just thinking of changing this to give them a dedicated lane. So there's 2 lanes here. If we make that a 3 lane, there, we're going to get a dedicated left. We're also going to get another left as well. I'm going to do 3 lanes down here. What is going on here? Where does that go? So that goes all the way up and connects over there. Oh, I see. You've tried to do the bypass thing already. I'm going to delete the bypass thing you've done. We don't need it. I think the one I've done's a bit better. And then that's going to solve this problem here where I've got the 2 joining in. That to me is going to be much, much better. Let's just come up again. What is this down here? Industrial manufacturing. That is just a zone building. We'll get rid of that. Cool. Let's just check there's no weird zoning going on. No, we're fine. And then I do want that to be 1 dedicated left with no traffic lights. So we'll take the traffic lights away. And we'll do... How could we do this? How could we do this? I think if we do it this way... and have it as a bypass, that is going to work much better. Then we can downgrade that back to the 2. We can say no left turns there. So actually, we could just delete that, couldn't we? Could it straight on or left? I mean, that is the 2 choices you've got. And then if we look at that, we are getting a dedicated left, which is fantastic. Is there still traffic lights there? I think it's because of the crossing. There we go. Got it and got it. So they can go up there if they need to. These can come around here. This is always going to be busy. It is just the way it is. We could do a little bit of tweaking down here. What is annoying is we can't just say that's for going in there, which would be good. I wonder if I just took that off, if people still use that for going in. No, it's like they go up, down. They are. Oh, now that is something interesting. So actually, could we upgrade that to 3? And this is something I haven't thought of before. Come on, lane connector tool. Thank you kindly. Turn that one off. So no one's going in there. And then you've got a straight and you've got a dedicated left. Let's just give them a second to work out what I've done. I'm just going to leave that on the screen so we can see it. And I don't want to do that silly little turny thing. I don't know what they're doing there. It might be I need to just maneuver this node back a bit. Where's my node? You're not giving me the node to pick? That's weird. Why can't I pick the node? Come on. Node, I said. I turn all the filters off and just get nodes. There's the node. I'll go back a bit with that. Will they just swoop in instead of messing around? So what we've got happening is some are still using this one to get up there. I don't think anyone's using the outside one to get up there. Let's maneuver it further away and see if they'll use this outside lane that doesn't connect on to go up. Yeah, see, they're doing the same thing over here. They're coming from this one instead of that one. That is the annoying thing. I think if we tweak this a bit, we might be able to do something, but I don't know. I don't know. Whoa! Well, we don't want to do that. Yeah, they are. Look, they're taking the outside lane to go in. They're still stopping and starting. I mean, what I've done when I've built this slightly differently, instead of having the lane coming down the side, I have the lane go straight in, because then they just drive straight in, straight out, and it's no problem. At least they're not getting in each other's way. If we click that, some are still going on, which is good. They're going in there. So they're not blocking up necessarily behind. They are a bit here. Look, some just want to, yeah. And that's getting out okay. So actually, what we might find is this will go down. It's going to take a while. The other thing to keep in mind is we've only got industry and our cargo hub here. If we sort of check where all of these cars are coming from, so let's click that and zoom out. They are coming from everywhere. They're coming from all the way down here. They're coming all the way up there. Everybody that wants to go to the cargo harbour, that is the only option they've got. I'm just checking around to make sure that's right. So we've got an airport. It doesn't look like there's anything else anywhere else. Oh, what's that bit? Oh, no, it's a traffic accident. Yeah, I'm going to let that run for a bit. We'll come back and check that before the end, because we've got to head into what is the biggest problem, and that is downtown. We can see traffic coming in all over the place. So let's take a look. So let's zoom in a little bit closer and see if we can work out what's going on down here. So you've gone from 3 lanes to 4 lanes. I'm thinking maybe that's just because of the sheer bulk of the traffic that's coming in. Lots of taxis coming in down here, and then it's all going to hit a road at the end, isn't it? Well, we've got a junction. Oh, okay, that's why you've got 4 lanes. I like it. I will take back my slightly sarcastic comment and say you've done good. We've got 2 lanes going off, one up there, one up there. We've got dedicated lanes, which is what people want. Very good. So then this goes on and it hits what is sort of, oh, it's not really a ring road, is it? It connects to the other roads going through. How is this all getting filtered through here? So we've got traffic lights, which makes sense because there's a lot going on. We don't have dedicated lanes, so everybody's like coming into this middle one. I'm thinking. If we take that, yes, they're going straight on. And if we take that, what ideally I would like, and there's 2 lanes in each direction, is I would like this to be more lanes than it currently is. Let's just having a quick look up here. Yeah. So we've got 3. Let's up that to 4. So I'm going to pick that road, 3-lane one-way highway. We're going to get the 4 lane and we're going to do this. Why is that going weird if I do that? Okay, we're going to go that way. That's what we want. Thank you. And now we should get 2 left and 2 right. We do. The only downside to that is some people are going to come down this road and then want to cross over to get into one of those. So that is still going to be a bit of a choke point. And that is just because this junction is way too close to that junction. I don't want to rebuild all your stuff. What we could do is this highway comes from all the way over here. Could we just let them have another little way in somewhere around here? I mean, this is a good street coming down there. It might just mean that if no one's looking, we just like destroy you and move you over. No one's going to say anything. No one noticed. We're fine. We'll just keep moving on and we'll do it. And then we'll have that one come off here into there. Yeah, we'll make it a 2. That should be okay. There we go. And then this one here, if we've got an asymmetric version of that, 4-lane 2-way highway, 5-lane asymmetric, just so we can get an extra lane there. There we go. If I move it that way, there we go. Excellent. So we've got an extra lane coming down to go off. So anybody coming round is less likely to go all the way and then turn right, which, I mean, that's good. If they're going to turn left, they're going to cross over anyway. But anything less is good. And then they can come down here and they can do this. I don't think we're going to need traffic lights. We'll remove that and we'll just let that continue. Lot of taxis coming in down here. Just trying to think, how can we get that moving? I mean, my initial thing is to add in a roundabout. So let's just speed things up a bit. Now that we've added those extra lanes, let's just maybe get in here. If I can squidge in here, there we go. And we can see the traffic up into the distance. Let's just keep an eye on that and see whether that goes down. I mean, every time the lights change, I mean, how many cars went through there? Like 8 or something? It really wasn't great because of that choke point that I was saying about. I mean, if we could just keep cars going, although there's less cars coming down here now, so as the lights change, more should get through. And it's one of those things, if there's less cars coming through here, there'll be less crossing over to the left. All right, let's just keep an eye on that for a sec. Right, the traffic symbol, oh darn it, came back again. All right, let's let another couple of iterations of the traffic lights go through and just keep your eye on who's coming through here and the difference it makes. I think we might need to look further around the corner as to what's going on, because the light's changing and they're not going through because of traffic down here. Let's just scooch in and come around this way. So what's going on down here? It's a super busy junction again, so it's like another inner ring bypass road type thing. We've got 2 lanes going in each direction. We've only got 3. And we've only got 2, I think. Yes. So we could do with that being a 4 and a something. Let's pick a pick of this road here. 4-lane road. We do have a 5-lane asymmetric, so that'll give us 3 and 2. We have a 4, which will give us 3 and 1, which is not what we want. Or does that give us 4? No, it gives us 4 and 1. Which might actually be good. Does it give us 4 and 1? No, it doesn't. It gives us 3 and 1, doesn't it? It might not be good. Let's do that. It would be good if we had a 5-lane asymmetric. So I bet there is up here a 7-lane. That's the one we want, isn't it? So we get a 4 and a 5 and a... I can't count. Maths. Yeah, I want a 6-lane asymmetric. There we go. Thank you very much, brain. This might be okay, actually, because the buildings are all very much back from the road. So if we do that, well, there's just you. It would be you, wouldn't it? It's always you. If we just bring these back a bit. There we go. Everybody's happy. So now we've got 2 left and 2 right, which is good. Let's get out the Move It mod. So that should get them in a little bit quicker down there. All right, so we'll continue following this because there's a lot of traffic. It then all comes down here and it starts getting really slow. So what is happening when it gets down here? We're hitting a 3-way junction. Okay, well, let's just use the in-game tool, click on Cypress Street, see what is going on. Lots of people are turning right and then they're coming out and they're going straight on. The majority are going straight on, but it's the turning. So what I'm going to do here, as this is so busy, could we add some crossings and things on it? Let's just work on this a little bit. 1 sec. Okay, so that means we can take away the crossings. So now that is going to help. And then I also want a dedicated right, which would be good as well, which we don't have. Now, I could draw another lane in, delete a building, do all of that stuff. So there is a way of doing it vanilla style. I want to do it with the mods. So we're going to say, Hugh, don't go there. Hugh, go there. So that means we've got 1 lane going straight on. Not ideal. So I'm going to go for the 5-lane asymmetric. Upgrade just that section and maybe the bit before. Yep, and then we're going to do this. Lane connection. So we're going to have a dedicated right. That is not going to go right. You go there. That's going to do both. So we've got 2 going on. I'm going to remove U-turns. There we go. So that should, when the lights change, get people out a little bit quicker. I'm also going to just pop in here a split phasing. We don't need exclusive pedestrian phase because of the crossings that we put. And we can see most people are using the crossing. Traffic the other way is fine. What I was going to do was pop an asymmetric in there if it got people going quicker. So hopefully we're going to see people going through this junction at the top here a bit quicker. So keep your eyes on that and we'll see how much of a difference that made. So what's good about the split phasing, as you'll notice, that we can have people coming from this road on the bottom, which is where all the traffic is, and they will continue turning right, even if traffic is coming from the opposite direction. And as you can see, most people want to turn right. I mean, in fact, we could even change the right hand to have 2 right-hand turns here instead of just the 1, because that is where most people are going. Although, looking at it, we seem to have solved all the traffic coming down here. Oh my goodness, look at that. It's all gone through. So let's come back to this busy junction. That is looking good now. And if we follow this down to the highway, that is looking good as well. Oh, look at that. So we've solved the traffic this end, but I know that is not the only traffic that is in here. So let's zoom out a little bit. Oh, we've got a little bit of traffic coming down here now. Why is that? What are they doing? Okay, we don't have a dedicated lane there. I am just going to put a 5-lane asymmetric in there. That is a 5-lane. Yep. So we'll get a dedicated left. We're going to get 2 lefts because I hate the way the game does that. The reason it does that is because it looks, there's 2 lanes down here they can go to. So it says, oh, we can have 2, but we're not going to do that. I'm just thinking how many, I mean, even just doing this will probably make a big difference, but we're going to say, Hugh, don't go there. Hugh, go to both of those. Those 2 go straight on. We've got a dedicated left. Give it a second or 2. And that traffic will go down. Can I see through your window, please? Thank you. We do have a lot of people crossing over, which is probably not helping. Let's just give them a second or 2. Yeah, I'm noticing some cheeky U-turns there as well. I bet you were. I am going to stop those. Nope, that's not the mod. Let's use this one. Lane connector tool. Please, no more cheeky U-turns. Thank you very much. I think I might want to just get rid of people crossing over this road. It is causing a lot of problems. I said that and the traffic's about to go down. Is it now? Oh, there's a big parking lot thing over there. There's still a lot of cars coming down here. We just want to get these through as quickly as possible. There's not many going straight on, is there? Everybody's turning. So I'm actually going to do here what I said about in the other one. We're going to say, Hugh, don't go there. Hugh, go there and do both of those. Hugh, go there. Hugh, don't go there, and Hugh, go there. So now we've got 2 lefts, and we're also going to remove the people from crossing over the street. Well, I'm not going to remove the people from crossing over the street. I'm just going to give them another way to go. Got nothing against the people, you know, per se, other than they keep messing up my traffic. There we go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And then we do have a traffic light. We're going to go split phasing and save and keep an eye on everything. Oh, I just can't see through all the buildings. Keep an eye on everything coming down from the top over there. And hopefully, there we go, we'll see that all disperse very quickly. I mean, it has all dispersed extremely quickly. I'll tell you what is probably going on is a lot of people are trying to get in and out of this car park. Look, they're crossing over the road to get in and out of the car park. Ideally, you don't want them to do that, yeah, because it's just causing traffic and all sorts of things. I would put in there a 4-lane divided road, which should stop them doing that, unless they're going to do stupid U-turns at the end. I mean, do we really want them doing that? No, we really don't want them doing that. And I'm going to say no U-turns, please don't be silly. So look, this is all going down, that way it's fine. Little bit of traffic coming up here again. I'm just going to give that a second or two. We've made a lot of changes. It's all going up there. Right, we'll come back to that. I'm just going to leave that because we made some changes. We'll just let them think about it. Let's head over into the deepest part down here, which was horrendously filled with traffic, but it isn't, which is great. We've got this over here. So where are they all going? So it's going up into this junction and coming down there. I think here we are just going to be able to solve this with some asymmetric roads. Now, this is where the 4-lane asymmetric works quite well, because you have that on all of them. You get a dedicated turning lane on every single lane because there's only one going in each direction. And other than the people that you've got crossing, which if we do that, split phasing, exclusive pedestrian phase and save, there we go. That should get that moving pretty darn quickly. And don't forget, we're always going to get some hawky-balky lane twitching when you make a big change. But once they get used to it, they'll know what's going. There we go. The west side is clear. The north side is clear. The east side is pretty clear. The south side is almost there. Do you know what I might just do? Because it keeps building up because of all the people crossing, I think we might just do this. And I know there's 50 different ways you can do this. You can pop them in like I am. You can put them going underground. You could have paths in other places to get around. But, you know, we're trying to fix an entire city here. So, you know, we'll do what we can. We don't need that anymore. We'll do save. And that might just get things moving a little bit quicker because there's a lot of people coming up this road and this road and this road. Let's just give that some time to run through. I think this is going to take a while to get through. We're getting traffic blocking up, going all over the place. Actually, coming out of this one is okay. It's just going in, isn't it? That's just coming in, that's just coming in, that's just coming in. So it's basically... Oh, I'll tell you what. This is very quickly going to change because this side here is almost... Ah, look, they're doing stupid U-turns. Silly, silly people. Remove U-turns. Thank you very much. Yeah, once one side goes down, it means the other lights get more chance to change. So I'm just sort of watching what's happening here. And I think once that's gone through, I think this one's going to go down, then this one of these two, and then it's all going to be okay. All right, let's just give it another little look and see what happens. We are still getting boneheads crossing the street, though, which really doesn't help. But yeah, not much we can do about that. There we go. That's 2 sides that are clear. That's 3 sides that are basically clear. So now we just want the one at the north to clear as well. Let's just give that another couple of iterations of the lights, and I think we'll be there. It's clear. There we go. Fantastic. All it took was a little bit of patience. And because that traffic's sorted, then back here where it was a problem, that is sorted as well. We've got another little hot spot over here somewhere. I did see it. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Which again, I think it's coming down to not dedicated lanes and that sort of thing. Some of these, some of these things that you don't always think of them, until later on. You go, oh, if I'd only added that. We'll get some dedicated lanes there. And then look at all the hearses. They're all flying in to deal with all the problems we've got everywhere. So hopefully very soon that'll be fixed. And then when we come down to the end here, yeah, we can have another dedicated lane in there to help them coming out. And then that will just keep all of this moving. I don't think we need a traffic light there. We're going to get rid of that one. And we're going to get rid of that one and just sort of keep it flowing. Already we can see that's gone down very quickly. This will go down as well. There we go. Another junction solved. So that was down here. If we just move across this way, a little bit away from the downtown, but this other sort of downtown that we've got a similar problem with this junction, which I think we can very quickly fix up. And then again, this is very similar to the other junction we were working on. We've got a lot of lanes coming in here, and they're all sort of hitting this spot. So I just think we're just going to go asymmetric lanes all in down here and see how that helps. And then we could give them an access through here, although this isn't too bad. I don't know why you're stopping all the way back there. You can continue through. But yeah, let's just let this run for a couple of minutes and hopefully that'll just very quickly be solved. There we go. A few seconds later, a little bit of lane management and it's all gone down. That's all gone down. This has all gone down as well. Brilliant. And back at the highway junction that we did a load of work on, in the end, the roundabout just fixed it because there's so much traffic coming through here. Yep, that is absolutely fine. So while we let the city run for a little bit, balance itself out, hopefully deal with all of this death care needs that it's got, let's just have a very quick look at our transit view. So we can see down here that the usage has definitely gone up on the lines. Makes total sense. For instance, this one here's got 6. It probably had like 26 before. So the percentage of usage will go up. But we can also see there's a couple of lines that really just aren't being used at all, which just could be deleted. So that's worth keeping in mind as well. But you get how to do that for your own city now. And back to watching Ye Olde Healthcare. This might go on for a while. There's a lot of hearses and things driving around trying to deal with all the needs, and as we said, there's so many people in here. This might just take a while. So what I think I'm going to do is just leave that running. I'm going to go off, do something else, come back, and hopefully we'll see a big improvement. So just before we do our final check of the city, just back over here in our industrial area, we have a lot of these high resource costs, and I've been looking into what's causing that. So if we go into our economy and our production tab, we can see that we have this red here is the key for what's going on down the bottom, a huge deficit of our raw materials. We have no wood being harvested within the city. We have no grain. We have no livestock. We have no fish. We have no vegetables or cotton or crude oil or metal ore or coal or stone. So to solve these issues up here of high resource costs, you would need to add all of these into your city. You've seen me do it 100 times before, so I'm not going to do it in this episode, but that's how to solve that problem. And then make sure there's no traffic so they can bring those goods to the places they are needed. Let's check on the hearse situation in downtown. So here we are in downtown just before the big reveal. One of the things I have have done is with all the crematoriums that were around, I set a load of them to just the new district that we had, so they weren't servicing the entire city, because I think that was half the problem. They couldn't get out of this area, they couldn't get in, all sorts of things going on there. So we had a whole load just to service this. And there we go, the problem solved. You can see it's August 2039. I don't know what the date was when we started doing this, but it hasn't taken that long at all. And if we just zoom out, the only traffic problem we've got is this one over here, which is from our cargo harbour. Unless I completely rebuild that area, we are just going to deal with that one. But I am very happy with the way that that has turned out. And there we go, 580,000 people on 3 separate land masses and a city that is finally moving again. We've done it. We've tackled the worst junctions, sorted out all the highways, improved the flow between parts of the city, we've sorted the bridges, and most importantly, getting all of those traffic jams under control and fixed so the city can actually function properly again. If you enjoyed this traffic fix, then please leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I know there's some of you out there watching, not subscribing. I can see you. Hit that button. And if you'd like to submit your own city for a potential fix, there's all the details you need in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that you've spent your time here with me today, and I'll see you all very soon for some more traffic fixing.